Hey everyone, welcome back to Ragtag Stacking. In today's video, I want to talk a little bit about stacking fractional gold and fractional silver. Now, I don't talk too much about fractional silver. Fractional gold, sure, I do have a lot of that. I like picking that stuff up. But when it comes to silver, just as far as the price point goes, when you're looking at 1 ounce of gold to 1 ounce of silver, it doesn't really make too much sense to be eating that much premium on fractional silver when, spot price of silver is, hovering around the 24 or 30. Let's just say you're picking up a Maple Leaf or an American Silver Eagle for around that $31 mark. Let's just leave it at the $30. Let's just say $30, a nice whole number there. If you were to look at fractional silver, you look at some of the half ounce things, and you'll be paying, let's say $30 for the 1 ounce, you'll be paying $22 for the half ounce, or you'll be paying $17 for the premiums are, higher on there. Obviously, the lower you go, the higher the premiums are. But with the price point that you're dealing with silver, you can go higher so you can get those premiums down. For me, it makes more sense to go up to the 2 ounce, 5 ounce, 10 ounce to avoid some of the premium, rather than going lower and going to the half and then the quarter and the tenth and paying higher premiums. You don't have that. I mean, I wish I had the luxury with gold where, I could go, 1 ounce, there's too much premium. I'm just going to start picking up kilo gold bars. That would be an awesome situation to be in. But for a lot of people, even getting enough saved up for that 1 ounce is just too much money. And it's, a lot of money, a lot more money than people are comfortable putting into one piece of, one coin. A lot of people are a little hesitant putting like $2,000 into one piece. So with gold, it does make a little bit more sense with the fractional bullion to pick up as far as budget goes and affordability. But with silver, I tend to avoid the fractional bullion, and if I'm going to be stacking fractional silver, it's going to be in the form of junk or constitutional. I know a lot of people get upset when I say junk. Here are just a few examples of some of the junk silver that I like to pick up. My favorite are probably the Canadian silver dollars. I get these on eBay a lot, and they're one of the best deals that I find out there. And these are my two favorite designs that you can see here is the 1967 Goose and the 58 British Columbia Totem. Those are very, very nice designs. And down here you can see some of the offerings I have in American junk silver. We've got some Washington quarter here. Here's a Barber dime. Then you got your Franklin $half, your Kennedy $half. Got some Walkers down there as well and some more dimes. But that's an example of some of the junk silver that you can pick up. So yes, junk silver, it does give you a lot of options, and as I just showed you the American and Canadian stuff, I don't have much more than that. I do have some Mexican old pesos, un peso and a cinco peso. I'd like to get some more circulated coinage from around the world. I know I'd like to get some stuff from Australia. This was an awesome coin that was gifted to me from by a subscriber, and it doesn't make it onto videos that often. It's just buried inside of a box, inside of a monster box, inside of a safe. So when I was going to get some fractional stuff to put out here, I wanted to make sure to get this one because this is one of my favorites. It's like a it's what you see on the gold sovereigns, this St. George slaying the dragon there, and it's one of my oldest coins that I have, the 1889, and it has Queen Victoria on the back. But this is from England. There's other stuff obviously from Spain and just all over the world that they do have more circulated silver, and that's something that I wouldn't mind getting into this year, is a little bit, if it's affordable and I can find it, getting some more examples of circulated coinage from around the world. But another benefit that junk silver has over fractional bullion is the price. It is cheaper compared to spot price than what you'd be paying for, especially fractional bullion, but compared to some of the other silver products that you're buying. And it's good for, like SHTF situations. If you're not a prepper, I know a lot of people aren't preppers, but living up in Canada, it's kind of, you have to have a prepper mentality or mindset kind of by default, just living up here with some of the winters that we experience. We actually just got blasted by, they were calling it a blizzard. It was quite a bit of snow. If you want to call it a blizzard, sure, but we got snowed in for a bit here, and that's not too out of the ordinary up here in Toronto. But we do get some pretty bad ice storms every now and then. Power outages lasting for weeks sometimes. This doesn't happen every winter, but it does happen some winters. So it does make sense to have extra, gas for the generator, or extra food, extra water, extra this. It's good to be prepared for something that isn't going to 100% come every winter. It's not going to be a brutal apocalyptic winter every year, but we've lived through and experienced enough to know that it's better to be prepared than not prepared. So even though I don't consider myself a prepper stacker, I understand the mentality, the mindset, and if I were to put myself in those shoes and thinking about SHTF situations and how I would want to use my stack, junk silver would be useful if a bartering system ever came back into popular use. Now, I like stacking weight for silver. Obviously, I like the 10-ounce bars. I'm going to get some kilo bars, hopefully this year as well. Just I look at kilo bars to maybe cut down on some of the premium. But if you're looking to barter with it in a SHTF situation, you're kind of limited as to what you can do with it, because you can go ahead and saw off or break off some of that kilo bar, but that's going to be a pain in the ass, you know what I mean? And you're just going to go up to a shopkeeper with a chunk of silver and say, here, this is what I'm buying with, you know what I mean? This is recognizable. This, it's American or Canadian. It's going to take a little bit of convincing with them, because they're going to say, okay, you have a $30 bill and you handed me like 10 of these $half. That's great. So you have 10 $half, that's $5. How are you going to pay for the rest? It's going to be a little bit difficult getting to people and saying, it's not the face value that you're going with on these coins, it's the silver content. So that might not be something that a lot of people are familiar with. It might take a little bit of time to familiarize people with the silver content in some of these older coins. And I'm sure that the people will, wrap their heads around it fairly quickly. If you're living in a society it's hard for me to wrap my head around SHTF situations. I always just think of it as, okay, money's collapsed, but I'm still just walking to the corner store to pick up milk and groceries. I don't think it's going to be that situation in SHTF. So it's hard to come up with hypotheticals when I'm talking about this. But say you were to barter with somebody, and in traditional dollar amounts, what you're bartering for is around $30. It's easier to get close to the exact amount that the person's looking to get back with junk silver than it is with, a 10-ounce bar or a kilo bar. Those are, going to be good for bigger expenditures, bigger purchases. You can use that for. But with the fractional, that's kind of good for day to day. And you're not going to be wasting some of these bars just because that's the only thing you have to barter with. And you really, really need, a tank of gas. And the guy's like, hey, I'm leaving, what do you have to trade with me? If you only have that 10-ounce bar, you're going to be out a little bit. The junk just kind of gives you a little bit more options if you're looking at that SHTF scenario. And with gold, the same thing applies with gold, that the smaller you go, the higher the premiums are. And for me, I have set a floor. I have set a limit of, I will not go lower than this just because of those premiums, and that is the 1 gram size. I do have 6 of these little 1 gram wafer bars, and the premium on them are quite hefty. I bought them when I first got into stacking, and now that I see the how the premiums work on the gold products, and I understand it a bit better, I can see that the grams might not be the best deal. So for me, I set that limit at the 10th ounce size. I don't want to buy anything that is smaller than a 10th of an ounce. Now I do have some exceptions with the maple leaf. I do want to get a maple leaf in every size, so I do need to get the 20th ounce and the maple gram, which is the coin that's the 1 gram coin that has a maple on it. Those are the only ones that I'm going to be getting that are lower than the 10th ounce. After that, it's going to be 10th and above. And I'm looking to move that goalpost. I think the 10th are good for maple leafs. I want to get a maple leaf every year, so that might be my exception. But I'm thinking about moving that floor up to the 5 gram mark, because there are different sizes of bars. You can get 5 grams, 10 grams, 20. You can get fractional bars where it's 20 grams but broken down into 20 individual 1 ounce or 1 gram bars. There are plenty of options that you can have with gold. Yes, at the moment I only have fractional gold. I am looking at picking up some 1-ounce pieces this year. I want to get a 1-ounce maple. I want to get a 1-ounce maple leaf coin, and then I would like to get a 1-ounce Royal Canadian Mint bar. So it does make sense that if you have the money and you you don't have a problem with putting all that money into one piece, then the 1 ounce is good to save on those premiums. But I do think that the fractional sizes are, just by the nature of the price, more liquid than a 1-ounce coin. You'll have an easier time trying to unload 1/10 ounce and 1/4 ounce sizes than you would with the full 1 ounce, just on average. There are going to be more people that will be able to afford the fractional sizes than the full 1-ounce gold size. And if you were going to look at the SHTF situations, it's the same that I said with the silver. It's going to be tough bartering with 1 ounce of gold. If you have that fractional, it is, obviously, smaller pieces that you can barter with. And fractional gold is perfect for people like me that are on a budget. Again, I would love to be able to pick up a 1-ounce gold coin every single paycheck, but that's just not in the cards. So if you're looking to get a gold and a silver stack going at the same time, and you set your money aside and you say, I can afford this much for silver and this much for gold, then yeah, fractional is a perfect way of doing that. I've seen a lot of people do their like a 1/10 ounce challenges for the year. They want to pick up a 1/10 ounce each month. Then you had Fish. He had his 100 pieces of gold challenge, and as I said, it'd be awesome to have 100 ounces of gold after that challenge. But obviously most people picked up the fractional pieces to get to that 100-piece milestone. But yeah, that was just a quick video I wanted to do talking about silver and gold, fractional silver and gold, because you do hear a lot more of the gold being talked about in fractional sizes, and sometimes you'll see silver bullion fractionalized. You'll see a lot of the Libertads. I do see people like getting the entire set of the silver Libertads. They have Canadian ones as well, where you can get the fractional set of the Canadian maple leaf. It's just not something that I'm into. It's not something that I look to purchase, but I do know that there are some people that like that as well. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. I'd like to know if you go with any fractional gold, or if you think the premiums are too much, you just go with the 1 ounce. And I do know that a lot of people say they do not like picking up junk silver. For me, it's the price I like picking up because it is cheap. It's not primarily for prepping, which I know that I do see a lot of people doing that as well. But if you have any different opinions on junk silver, I'd like to hear from you in the comments as well. But yes, that is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you come back for the next one. Thank you.